Yo, what's up, all you burners, stoners, and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there? Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Fantastic.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world. Hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks where I listen to the show. Mrs. Weedman are about to get normal with a new strain we've never smoked before called Romscotti. And this was given to us by our friend Ignius. And this is a potent indica dominant hybrid cannabis strain known for its complex flavor profile and deeply relaxing effects. It's a cross between Romulan and Biscotti. I was saying, what was I saying before the show, before we started calling Ramscutin? Du hast me. That old song.
And I had no idea what you were talking about.
She did not remember that song, and I did. I worked in the nightclub, so it was a nightclub song.
It was definitely a nightclub song.
Yep. Offering up a unique combination of old school indica characteristics with a modern twist. Potency. Romscotti is a potent strain with effects that are felt quickly and deeply. Its dominant is indica dominant hybrid strain, meaning it leans towards the relaxing and sedating effects associated with indica strains. Effects users can expect a full body relaxation, often accompanied by the euphoric sedation. Flavor profile. Romscotti boasts a complex and unique flavor with notes of coffee, chocolate, earth. Oh, Mrs. Weedman's going to like this strain. Two of her favorite things, coffee and chocolate. Spice, sweetness, dough. Never had that one before. Fruit and gasoline. Some phenotypes have a white appearance with a strong coffee and chocolate aroma, with others have sweeter grassy notes. Let's see what else here. Stress and anxiety. Medical marijuana patients may find Romscotti helpful in managing symptoms of stress and anxiety. Also, it helps with depression. It can help with symptoms of depression and pain relief. Overall, Romscotti is a strain that offers a powerful and nuanced experience, appealing to both recreational and medical users seeking deep and relaxation complex flavors. I'd like to thank our friend Ignius. Always thrown to the cause with great strains, and I have to say, Ignius, I've had a couple people reach out to me about your Slurricane and how much they love your Slurricane too. So thank you, brother. Thanks for throwing to the cause as always. Ms. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
We got a fun-filled weekend coming up. We're going to be out in Northwest Illinois at an event. What's the event called again?
The event is Canna and Company. Mm-hmm. They are doing a movie night. So there will be the Reefer Madness and
Cole Memo.
And the Cole Memo. And then there's going to be music, live music. There will be other vendors. It's bring your own food. There's camping. But the event is just on Friday night. So if you camp, there's no next day activities. But
we may stay the night. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
We also have a dog. So if we can't find somebody to watch the dog, we might take her with or might have to drive back home. So it all
we will see.
All depends. It all depends how it goes. So, but we'll be out there hanging out, rolling doinks. Miss Weedman will have the 8 Decades gear all light up so people could see. It should be a nice evening. It's going to be 65 degrees and very
Is it
pleasant.
Really?
Yeah, at night.
Nice,
Be very, very pleasant. 81 during the day and 65
Sweet.
At night. So it's going to be a very, 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 very nice night. I'm so excited. You want to tell everybody about 8 Decades, Mrs. Weedman? 8decades.com, your baby?
Sure. 8 Decades. I talk about it on the show all the time, but we started 8 Decades. There's 8 decades of cannabis prohibition, and we don't want there to be a 9th. Hopefully we are federally legal before then. But our products are intended to stomp the stigma by starting the conversation talking about cannabis. So there are accessories that are not intended to be stashed. Like, let's stop stashing things. Put it on your table. Let the conversation get started with guests that come over to your house. Have really nice tools for your flower using and storage and hemp clothing. But check out our website. It's 8 Decades, EIGHT, decades.com. And you can hear and read more about us. You can find links to the podcast, swag for Weedman 420, as well as 8 Decades goods.
Yes. Check out 8decades.com, everybody, because if you support the show by supporting 8decades.com, you support us, and we can keep on doing the show for you every week, and we thank you for it. So, and then from some good news this week, some really exciting news. Another podcast ranking website reached out to us. And I'm super excited because I'm very humbled by it, more so than ever, because it's because of everybody out there that listens to this show is why we're at where we're at today after over 6 years of doing the show. So the Weedman 420 Chronicles made it to the million podcast website. It's the 100 best cannabis podcast list, and we made it out of the 100 best cannabis podcasts. We got ranked your favorite number. What number is that?
13th.
13th. We got ranked 13th out of the 100 best Cannabis podcast. And also, this is fucking crazy. We made it on a second list, the 60 best drug podcasts. And guess what number we made it at?
What did we make?
30th.
Nice.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
For a drug pod for and I was looking at the list. We were the only cannabis podcast that made that list. It was all about like overuse, addiction and stuff like that. And because I believe maybe our cannabis is so informative about cannabis, it got equated into that 60th ranking. So
That's
60
sweet.
rankings. Yeah. So I'd like to thank the Million Podcast website. You can check them out. We'll have it listed on our the episode. We'll have their links. You can go check it out. All the other great shows, cannabis shows that are out there, and drug podcasts. They have a million different podcasts they list. So if you don't only listen to cannabis podcasts, they do rankings for a million other podcasts. So check out Million Podcasts, and we'll have the link on our show notes and descriptions. So on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and channel, and then also all of our audio, Spotify, Apple, you name it, Pandora. We are on all platforms around the world. So thank you everybody for helping us grow each and every day. You motivate me more than all of you know. Mrs. Weedman and I were talking the other day in the car. I think it was maybe Sunday. We were in the car or something. We were driving. I think we were driving home after we got this email, and we were talking about just life in general when you do a business or when you do something meaningful for your job, or you do something in life that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of passion, a lot of passion and consistency and persistency. And doing podcasts, for all you out there that do podcast or want to get into podcasting, it is not easy work. I will tell you that right now. You have to have passion for it, because there's times where that little devil gets on your left or right shoulder, and you have the angel on one and the devil on the other. And sometimes that devil gets in your head, no matter what you do. Even when Mrs. Weedman and I owned a couple other businesses. We owned a nutrition business. We owned until I got into a car accident, we owned a personal training business and other things throughout our time. And there's always that little thing. Oh, no one's listening to you. Oh, no one likes what you do. Oh, why do you keep on doing this every week? And it hits you hard, because it starts making you doubt who you are and what you do for a living, or what your passion is. Because in this podcast world, unless you get a comment, you don't know, or you see somebody, you don't know who's actually listening. It's the blind. It's the what would you call it? You called it something one time. I can't remember, but it's like the no see or touch work.
Audience.
The audience.
You
Yeah,
just
you don't know. And I know you're out there. I know you're listening. I see it. On some comments and views and stuff like
you
that.
can see the analytics for
Yeah,
the show.
yeah, you
so
do.
you know people are listening.
100%.
We just don't know who you are.
Right. And I love you all out there. What I'm getting at here is that sometimes that little seed of doubt that little devil on your shoulder puts in your head, and you start doubting yourself. And you start doubting what you do. And I've talked to and mentored and coached a lot of people in my life, and you hear people tell you this too. And I'm one of them. I mean, and what keeps me going is keeping me motivated every week, and keeping me going every week, and keeping me loving doing this show, especially because I get to do this with you, Mrs. Weedman. But what is my affirmations? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is, I believe in God. You've heard me talk about it on the show a few times. That is an affirmation for me that I use all the time. Also, I can, I have stuff written down on pieces of paper. And I used to have, remember our bathroom mirror? I used to have a bunch of writings to keep me motivated. And now I just wake up in the morning and I say my affirmations, and I know success is always there, in that reach, in that growth. And this is the growth phase where the seeds of doubt come in. And no matter what you're trying to do, your goal, your accomplishments, what you want to strive to be at in your life, whether you own a business or you're trying to write a book or your job, whatever, you will have the good moments and you will have the seeds of doubt moments. And the seeds of doubt moments can take you down that path to where some people never come back from, and they quit. And that's what you don't want to do. You will always try. You will always do. You will fail. And failure is so good in life when you fail, because it's not how many times you fail, it's how many times you get back up when you fail, right? How many times have we gotten knocked out and we've gotten back up and brushed ourselves off and kept on moving forward, kept on moving forward, kept on moving forward. It is not easy to be successful. It's not easy to do something that you've never done before and give it your best effort each and every day, waking up knowing that you can succeed, right? There's seeds of doubt in your head too. You get it? Yeah, we all do. So just go out there each and every day and know you could give it your best and give it your all and succeed each and every day. Write your goals down, follow those goals, complete those goals, and then knock them out and do the next goals. That's if you're growing cannabis. If you want to get in the cannabis industry, if you want to just be a home grower, it's going to take some time to grow and perfect your trade or anything you do in life. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there for a second, but you got anything to add to that, Mrs. Weedman?
Well, I mean, the fact that people are listening is why we're making or ranking. So it just goes back to the reason we do what we're doing is to help people get information, different perspectives. It's not necessarily our opinion. We read articles that we don't necessarily agree with. We try to cover all of the different information that's out there so people can inform themselves and create their own opinions about the plant and how they want to use it or not, how they want to get educated about it or not. We're here. And knowing that there are people on the other side listening is why we keep coming back to do more. And yes, the seeds of doubt. I don't know any business owner or anybody for that matter that doesn't have doubt about things that they're doing in life. That's very natural, but it is that courage to, or that just that wherewithal to have it in you to just keep doing it anyway, right. Even if you think you're not getting there, because there's something to be said about continuing and continuing and continuing. And success does not happen overnight. When people see you actually succeed, it's sudden to them, so they think it just happened, but they may not know that it took you 10 years to get to that position. So we are seasoned at trying. We are very seasoned at adult life trying to succeed. Are we there yet? You know, that's all perspective. It all depends on who you're asking, you know. Some people would say that our life and where we're at right now is uber successful. Other people would be like, you guys haven't done anything. You know, it just depends on what that person has done with their life as well, right? But we thank you guys because it's a relationship. It's a relationship with us and this invisible audience that we don't know.
And some of you we do get to meet when we do events.
When we go to events and
we do get to meet you when we love you.
Or we get emails or we get DMs.
Yeah.
But it is a relationship. We are trying to present information in a way that you want to hear it. And so thank you, because we wouldn't make it onto these charts and we wouldn't make it onto these lists if people weren't listening.
Right.
So I think we're doing something right. And thank you, Mr. Weedman, for doing that, because you are ultimately the brain behind the show.
Yeah, but I have you to help me a lot.
Well, I'm just that sidekick.
Am I the Batman? You're the Robin?
I never really cared for Batman or Robin.
So if I'm
like Fonz and Richie,
that's fine. Or Joni and Chachi.
Joni and Chachi. No, that's a couple. I'm thinking a team, a duo.
Laverne and Shirley.
We're like Felix and Oscar.
Oh, okay. So here's a question: who's Felix and who's Oscar?
No, we both have a little bit of both.
It's the odd couple.
We're both a little bit of both.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think so. Yeah.
But am I more Oscar, though?
You're the more OCD one.
Really? So I'm Felix?
It just depends on, it depends on what we're taught with the topic.
I'll tell you a quick story about, we got to tell the New York story real quick before we move on.
I don't know I'll know when you start saying
it. Subway. Okay, so we were in New York in 2004 with my mom, my brother. Yes. My mom, my brother, his wife, our two kids, and we're on a subway in New York coming from Yankee Stadium. We went and saw it, which I caught a baseball at. And we're in the subway driving back from the Bronx, New York to Manhattan, because we were staying in Manhattan. And we're on this subway and we're sitting next to a guy that has this enormous suitcase. and it's empty.
It's empty.
Because he's telling us that he just bought this suitcase for $50 from some guy on the corner because he's going on a trip. Right? So he's telling us, but everybody, he's drunk. He's literally drunk because he was falling asleep on the train too. And all of a sudden he wakes up and he goes...
Hysterical.
Yeah. He wakes up and he goes, I don't want no pits in my juice. And if anybody can guess where that line's from, I'll give you $20.
And then he like fell asleep again.
He rolled back. So we were like, what? And I watched Odd Couple growing up as a kid with my dad and my mom. And my mom was like, where is this line from? I've heard it and we could not remember where it was from. So he's ready to get off. He finally wakes up.
Google it.
Yes.
This was
we didn't
way
have,
before.
I don't even know if I had a cell phone. I had my Nokia little pocket phone.
Yeah. There was no texting.
No. And all of a sudden we're getting off the train. He goes, if you don't know where that's from and you didn't get it, so you ain't getting $20. And you know where that, and I'm going to tell you where it's from. And we were like, where it's from? The Odd Couple. And we were like, are you kidding me? Oh my God.
He also took out a package of Swedish fish.
Yes. And he was trying.
And then he was like offering them to everybody. It was like, oh no, really? It's okay.
It was
thanks.
obnoxious the way he was eating. And he offered them after he put the bag in his mouth. And he put like 10 of them in his mouth.
He
and
was
he's
a character.
He's chewing on like this.
And he was going to Manhattan. He was like totally a Bronx dude.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. I don't want no pits in my juice.
We all just looked at each other. We don't even know what's happening.
Boy, oh boy, the New Yorkers. I love them. I'm from there, so characters, I tell you, characters. So, you ready to get the show started?
Yeah.
Let's do this. A black metal band, sold their vocalist semen at the merch booth, and somebody bought it.
Yeah, of course.
Now, here's the kicker. The name of the band is Pro Fanatica, Profantica, and they sold a vial of the vocalist drummer Paul Lindy's semen at their merch booth. There was an image. It's kind of creepy. There's a lot of semen in that vial too. Man, I wonder how many times. And it says on the sign, Paul's actual cum.
Not you.
Not me. Not me. The lead singer.
And somebody bought it.
Lead singer of Profantica.
Gross.
Considering to talk about the band's song titles such as Black Cum and Thy Kingdom Come. It's a black metal band.
Yeah.
Guess how much they sold it for? Guess how much this person bought it for?
I don't know, $1,000.
$50 make you holla.
$50? Oh, warm, sitting in a jar. Well, that person probably thinks she's going to go home and get pregnant.
It could have been a he.
Could have been.
Could have been a he.
What's he going to do with it?
He might like the taste of it.
That is so strange. Gross.
Whoever out there bought the semen from Profantica, from the
if
drummer,
you are
lead
listening
singer,
to this, you need to tell us
yeah,
why.
you need to tell us why you bought this.
What are you doing with it?
Do you wear it as a necklace around?
Yeah. Like Angelina Jolie when she wore her blood around her neck.
Yes. Oh,
with
my
Billy Bob
gosh.
Thornton.
Oh.
And the little vial.
$50 make you holler though.
Somebody hollered. Give me that.
Oh, I love it. Oh shit. Here's a big one. Ready? Accuracy of label THC potency across flower and concentrate cannabis products. Could be off, could be spot on. We've been finding out they've been off in some articles we've read in the past and stuff I've read. So here's a really good one, though. Check this out. Hot off the press from Nature Science Reports of July 2025, study out of Colorado just dropped some eye-opening facts about the actual what's actually in your weed versus the label says. And I read an article, I think 2 weeks ago, too, about the Colorado cannabis being not labeled correctly. So, but this is just more research. So I want to just, for all you Coloradoans out there, and also for everybody out there who buys cannabis from a legal dispensary. This is every state. This is not just happened. It's happened in Massachusetts. It's happened in Michigan. It's happened all across the country with mislabeled products. So researchers grabbed 281 products. It's not just one or two products, 281 products, 182 flower and 99 concentrates from 52 dispensaries all over the state. They wanted to see if THC labels on the package were actually telling the truth. Let's start with flower. Average label said 22.5% THC. The actual test results, though, only were 20.8%. That difference is of 2% THC, and only 57% of the flower products were within the 15% of their label. Even crazier, over 30% were over-labeled, meaning you were paying top dollar, expecting a heavy hitter, and getting something a little more mellow than advertised. Now, for all you dab heads out there, concentrates told a little bit of a different story. Labeled at 73% THC, tested at 70.7%. And 96% of those concentrates, though, were within the same 15% margin range. That means if you're running hash, wax, shatter, carts, you're probably getting what you paid for. Concentrates are keeping it real. Flower is just a little fuzzy. But here's the deeper layer. Researchers also looked at minor cannabinoids like CBG, CBN, CBC, and THCV, even though Colorado doesn't require them on labels. And guess what? CBG was actually more common than CBD in most products. But almost 84% of the products didn't list anything beyond THC and CBD.
Jeez.
That means a whole chunk of your experience, the entourage effect, the full spectrum profile, is missing from the label. Why does all this matter? Because when you're dosing, whether recreationally or medically, you deserve accurate info. Whether you're a first-time microdoser or a daily toker, chasing full effect, the THC number should match what you're consuming. Also, consistency in lab testing and labeling builds trust in the industry. If concentrates can do it right, there's no reason flower can't follow suit. It's time for states to look at better regulation, more transparency, and maybe even requiring full cannabinoid profiles, especially as strains get more diverse and terp forward. So next time you're shopping based on THC alone, maybe think twice. Don't get caught chasing numbers. Chase the experience, Mrs. Weedman. Yeah, that's the problem a lot. You know, some companies will pay testing labs more money to get their percentage looking better and better and better.
Try a different bud. Try a different, right?
Or even just pay them.
Or just
to
change the results completely.
Fudge the numbers a little bit.
Wow.
Because we all know that I know here in the Illinois market, higher THC percentages sell more. People.
So why don't they govern the machines that...
They should.
That's what they should do.
Like the dispensaries get governed through their
like you can only
metric.
have so many wrong, incorrect things that you have to manually modify. Like whatever the machine spits out as data has to be the
that's
label.
why I think that testing lab lost their license in Massachusetts, was they're fighting to get back. That's why they got caught. Because they were some phony numbers. Yeah. So it is a strange world out there.
You lose consumer trust.
Yes, and that's why people go back to the traditional market.
But it also deters people from using cannabis because then they could potentially have a bad time with it.
Yeah, experience. Yeah,
bad
100%.
experience.
But even if you're paying top dollar for 25% or 30%, but actually it was 28%, you're getting gypped.
Right.
Because you're paying top dollar, Hemp flour and oil can make gluten-free baked goods with optimal texture and significant nutrition, the study shows. And Mrs. Weedman's a baker. I don't know how much, if you really truly like to bake, but you bake.
I like to truly
bake. You do like
bake.
to bake?
Yeah.
Okay. I know. I didn't know if it was like something that you actually really like to do. I know you do it, but is it something you enjoy doing?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, good. I love when you make me edibles.
I just don't. I don't make a lot of baked goods because it's the two of us, and we have our couple bites of something, and we're done with it.
Right.
And
then when the kids come over, you give, take some of this, take some of this. I baked like 60 different things this week.
But
half.
I feel like there's just too much waste. Like I've got all sorts of cakes I'd love to make, but what am I going to do with them?
Yeah, I don't. And Mr. Weedman only eats really truly.
Yeah, it's only on the weekends.
Only on the weekends.
Snacks during the week.
Yes, I know. But I had ice cream
so
today.
Boring.
I had ice cream today. You stopped at a Dairy Queen.
I mean, I'm all about the treats.
But here's the funny thing. I get a kid's cup. I do. Because it's during the week. And even on the weekends, too. Because I don't need a ton of ice cream. I love the taste of ice cream, don't get me wrong. The Dairy Queen chocolate vanilla swirl. So good. And then if you go to Andy's here, if you've ever been to Illinois. Andy's custard.
Really the best.
Oh, my God.
It's the best.
It's the best. So, but yeah, I'm not a huge junk food eater, but I do love my junk food. But I do it on specific days.
I do not.
But I had ice cream on a Tuesday.
It's all about moderation, but daily moderation.
Yeah.
Hourly moderation sometimes. So this is an interesting article because when we are like at our peak with fitness, like in our 30s, 40s, we were super active and exercise and fitness, and oh my God, the amount of training we did. But I also did a lot of experimenting with modifying ingredients in recipes, baked goods and dinners and lunches and things, but a lot of baking. And I will cook anything without a recipe. I'll use a recipe. I know I can, if I'm not making a sauce, I can pretty much wing it, Sauces, there's some science in
And it
there.
still comes out good.
But baking is very scientific, and the wet, dry, the weights, the flour, you have to follow a recipe. I'm not a baker who doesn't bake without a recipe for like something complex. So this is really interesting because anything that you swap out, I have tried, substituting better oils in recipes, better butters, better flours, all sorts of things. And oil and flour are very challenging to change in a recipe. So this is very cool to hear about. A new study suggests that hemp seed and hemp oil can be made into a promising gluten-free flour mix that offers an optimal bake texture, along with significant nutritional impact. The research from a 6-person team at the University of Calabria in Italy used hemp seed flour and oil to make gluten-free cupcakes, testing various parameters to explore the feasibility of hemp as an alternative flour. Initially, authors found that replacing butter with hemp oil in a traditional recipe made with wheat flour, it reduced the consistency of the cupcake batter. But when the wheat flour was replaced entirely with hemp flour, the batter's consistency was restored. Replacing butter with CBD-enriched hemp oil reduced batter consistency. The subsequent gradual incorporation of hemp flour led to a further decrease, the paper, published in the journal Molecules, says. A mix of hemp and corn flour didn't meaningfully improve the consistency. However, when hemp flour was used exclusively, the consistency of the batter was restored to a level comparable to the traditional formulation, the study says, resulting in an optimal baking texture. In addition to detailing a process authors described as an efficient method for extracting CBD-rich oil, which involves maceration along with the use of microwaves, they found that hemp oil presents a viable alternative to traditional oils and fats for creating functional foods.
Yay.
Evaluating various physical properties of the resulting hemp flour, hemp oil mix, researchers concluded that hemp oil and hemp flour are viable ingredients for traditional cakes and desserts, notably contributing increased nutritional value through the CBD-enriched hemp oil and the beneficial profile of hemp flour. The study comes as more research evaluates the nutritional value of hemp in both humans and animals. Last year, for example, scientists at the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Agricultural Research Service said they're working to unlock this plant's amazing nutritional benefits for consumers and new economic benefits for the farmer. A USDA video also touted the many uses of hemp, including for fabric, paper, construction materials, and a wide range of nutritional products. Novel ways of processing the plant, it predicted, could one day incorporate nutrients from hemp into even more everyday foods. The hemp plant is very robust, researcher Sean Liu said, noting that hemp grows in a range of different conditions, requires comparatively few agricultural inputs, and can be processed into all sorts of products. Nutritionally, seeds contain a variety of amino acids and are rich in protein, Liu added. While hemp seed oil contains both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, it has a lot of unsaturated fatty acids that are good for your heart, and it can also lower your blood pressure, he explains. We want to fully utilize hemp seeds, he explained. Oil is a good part of the hemp seed, but there are other things that we want to utilize to maximize the benefits of the seeds, such as the proteins and the dietary fibers. They are all good food ingredients that could be used for a lot of healthy food. Also, last year, an organization of livestock feed control officials voted to allow commercial farmers to begin using hemp seed meal as food for egg-laying hens. Should I reread that? I feel like I stumbled. Last year, an organization of livestock feed control officials voted to allow commercial farmers to begin using hemp seed meal as food for egg-laying hens. Under the new policy, which was recommended by the Food and Drug Administration, hemp meal can account for up to 20% of the hens' diets. In late 2023, New York lawmakers sent Governor Kathy Hochul a bill that would have legalized hemp seed as a feed ingredient for horses, llamas, and household pets, though the governor ultimately vetoed the measure, citing lack of safety information on the practice. The topic is nevertheless gaining attention in the research community. Separately, the FDA in 2022 sent warning letters to a number of businesses marketing CBD products for animals, cautioning that there's a lack of data on what levels of potential residues are safe for a person consuming the foods that come from CBD-treated animals. In 2023, however, the USDA found that cows that are fed hemp seed cake retain very low concentrations of THC and CBD in their bodies, indicating that meat products from hemp-fed cattle are safe for human consumption. Another federally funded study published in 2022 found that feeding cows hemp, in fact, reduced their stress levels. Researchers have also previously looked into how CBD affects stress and pain in horses. Hemp, its possibilities are endless.
Hemp will save the world.
It could.
If our governments around the world will understand this and stop using everything else and went to hemp, whoo, boy, what we can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've smoked a lot of cannabis in my life. I've also drank my share of alcohol, especially beer. I've worked in the beer industry for a very long time and worked in the bar industry for a very long time. I've drinking a lot of beer. I'm a beer guy. I love beer. Hard liquor, I've had my moments where I'll drink some hard liquor, but I'm not a very big hard liquor fan. And I'm a lightweight when it comes to liquor. You can ask Mrs. Weedman. I'm a very, very big lightweight when it comes to liquor. So I like my beer because I can drink a couple beers and be done and have my water and go back to water and I'm good and maybe have another beer. So, but here's the thing. Mrs. Weedman's been here. I've been here where how cannabis and alcohol hangovers are just terrible. Just terrible. I mean, I've had alcohol hangovers, but having alcohol cannabis hangover together is absolutely one of the worst feelings
ever.
It's
so hard.
And here's the reason why. I'm going to teach you all something here. Something I taught my daughter a long time ago. If you like to drink, here's what you need to do. Drink 2 drinks, have a glass of water. Drink a drink, have a glass of water. Hydration is the killer for the next day hangover because your alcohol dehydrates you. Okay? So here's the thing. If you go out and you're drinking and you're buzzed up pretty good and someone offers you to go outside and smoke weed, don't do it. It does not. Being drunk and then smoking weed is just a recipe for disaster. Disaster. If you're high first and then you have a couple drinks, you're going to be okay. I don't recommend it, but you're going to be okay. I'm not saying go out and pound a bunch of Malort like they do in Chicago. Gross. But don't go pound a bunch of Malort shots because you're still going to get that effect to where you're going to fucking feel like shit throughout the night or the next day. Moderation. If you're going to do both, moderate your alcohol consumption and smoke first, drink second. If you're already drunk, do not
Don't
smoke. I don't care if people say you'll be fine. I'm telling you, if you are drunk, do not. And if you go home thinking it's going to help you go to sleep, don't do it. I'll wait till tomorrow. Okay? So here you go. All right, here's some wild for the sesh squad. Ever heard that puffing after pounding helps dodge a hangover? Turns out now it might actually backfire. And here's what hit me hard. When people mixed weed and alcohol simultaneously, they experienced more frequent hangovers compared to just straight booze. The symptoms, headaches, nausea, fatigue, were stronger on mornings after a co-use session. And if you're in bed at night and you're drunk and you smoke and you go to bed, those fucking head spins where your alarm clock, when we used to have alarm clocks, would be going around in a circle because that's the only light you had in your room, and it was absolute fucking misery. And if someone is already a heavy drinker and a long-term cannabis user, they got slammed the hardest. So it's not just mixing, it's the overlap in effects amplifying the next day crash. Other research backs this too. A study in addictive behaviors found that simultaneously use leads to heavier drinking episodes and thus worse hangovers. Teens aren't exempt. Cyworthy revealed that younger folks mixing both report heavier drinking, more hangovers, and even depressive symptoms. So why does this all matter, fam? Harm reduction 101. The combo smoke session or session could mean you're asking for a hangover tomorrow. Know the science. Co-use doesn't lessen the crash. It heightens it. Public awareness. As legalization spreads, so does casual mixed use. Folks got to know the hangover risk. Want a smoother next day vibe? Space out your urban alcohol. Let one burn off before lighting the other. Keep them separate sessions. What did Mr. Weedman say earlier? Stay hydrated. Pace your drinks. Consider rolling more solo to keep the wake up mellow. No need to chase the myth. Prioritize the experience and recovery. Remember, chill high tonight, easier rise tomorrow. It's true. I'm telling you, Mrs. Weedman's been there. Oh, I've been there multiple times.
Terrible.
I will say this. I fell asleep on the toilet one time. And I think, and I woke up and I had done both. Came out both ends. One time in my life. I'll admit it to the world.
Yeah, share that.
It was terrible.
Dirty secret,
you
Mr.
knew.
Weedman.
You knew because you woke up and you were like, and
I think everybody has had one of those nights.
That was the worst.
Well, not everybody,
oh my
but
gosh.
a lot of
I think
people.
I ate too many. I think I ate too many edibles, smoked and drank, came from when I worked for Lagunitas, came back at home that night. And I remember going on the toilet and waking up and the garbage pail was in front of me and there was stuff in it and there was stuff in the back end. Fucking brutal. That hangover the next day was terrible.
And the last time I had one of those nights, I fell into a bathtub and hit my head. So, yeah. And then the next day felt like complete garbage, nauseous. I probably had a concussion.
You missed the party that night.
Missed the party.
Yep.
Yep.
We had two parties.
The second party.
So we had Saturday night. Friday night, Mrs. Weedman overdid it.
Gosh, I had so much fun.
Yeah. And then Saturday night, though, she didn't make it to the party.
No, I did not.
And I bought breakfast for you that morning. You couldn't eat it. And I bought pizza that you said you barely touched.
Yeah. It was one of those, like, I feel so terrible that the thought of even eating, I just couldn't even.
I remember calling you.
Like, I knew so bad I needed to eat, and I just could not get it.
I remember texting you going, take an Uber. The party's still going. It was our Christmas party. I'm like, the party's still going. It was like 10 o'clock. You're like, I'm not leaving bed. I was like, damn.
It was fun.
But here's the kicker. You ready for this? Now, Mr. Weedman had too much partying on Saturday. I get back to the hotel, probably because we were hanging out in hotel rooms with some of the other people from the company. I think I got back to the room about 3 a.m, stone cold drunk and hung and just high and drunk and just. Miserable.
I mean, this is over 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, and just like. I'm like, it's time for bed, and I get into bed. You're up at the crack of dawn now, got a good sleep,
I feel
good
good.
rest, and you're like, get out of bed, let's go. I'm like, what time is it? You're like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I feel like ass right now, and you're expecting me to be. I'm where you were the night. Well, I want to go home. I want to go get something to eat. I'm starving. I haven't eaten. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This ain't right. Why don't you bring me breakfast and bring me some Blue Malnati's? I'll never forget that. So I had to wake my fucking hungover ass up, take a shower.
Well, we did have to check out of the hotel.
We did, but it was only 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But you were ready. You were ready to go. I'm like,
God.
Man, the tides have turned. That's so good. Ed Rosenthal.
Yeah.
He is just been in the industry a very long time. He's a figure, legacy. He's written books. He is an advocacy speaker. He's been all around the world talking about cannabis, growing. He's just a really good human being. What I've read, I don't know him personally, but from what I've read and followed, and I think he's great for cannabis. So some people might tell me I'm wrong. I don't know him personally, but what I read, I think he's good. So this is what he says is the most important thing about cannabis.
Yes, and this is him. He is the author of this article. So many of us have had some sort of spiritual experience using marijuana. a feeling of oneness with the continuity of nature, that you are part of the world, and being human, you are the eyes of the world. Growing cannabis is another story. When I say to growers, using marijuana may not be addictive, but growing it is, I get a smile of recognition from many who have experienced the imperative of growing. We tend to think of cannabis separately from the rest of the plant kingdom, but we know that it obeys and follows the same program as other plants. There are, however, some qualities that make it unique. Even land races may contain a mix of alleles or different versions of the same genes, resulting in differences in characteristics. Popular cannabis varieties exhibit variation because of this hybridization in their ancestry. Another reason for our affinity with the species is that, unlike 95% of seed plants and all other annuals, cannabis is dioecious, meaning it has separate male and female plants, and the female of both species is considered the more beautiful form. Unlike tomatoes, which produce fruit continuously throughout their lives, cannabis progresses through distinct growth stages: germination, early growth, adolescence, sexual maturity, reproduction, and senescence, much like humans. With tobacco, the plant is just considered a carrier for nicotine and several other ingredients. One could say the same thing for cannabis. If you could cultivate only the cannabinoids and terpenes, would the rest of the plant still matter to you? This may be a choice in the not too distant future, if we brewed it, not grew it. It's simple. Take the genes responsible for cannabinoid production, insert them into yeast, and then we make a brew. The yeast will express the cannabinoids, biosynthetically producing THC. No lights, no containers, no planting, no diseases, and only 5 days from start to finish. Forecasting the future, there may be a time when THC and other cannabinoids and terpenes are produced biosynthetically to make concentrates.
We know somebody that does that already. We had him on the show, like
We did.
early on,
A long time ago,
like
yeah.
like our second year in or something.
Yeah,
Crazy.
they make them for the pharmaceutical world right now. This leads Ed Rosenthal to ask, what is the purpose of cannabis? What is the most important thing about cannabis? He tries answering from the point of view of the user. It's a beautiful bud, a sight to behold. Its glistening trichomes are a promise of what they contain. You can see that it's tight and packed with delicious cargo, the odors wafting from the evaporating terpenes. Humboldt Seed Company's Blueberry Muffin comes to mind here, showering your senses with the scent of freshly baked muffins. You can almost taste the flavor. But what if that beautiful bud with great terpenes contains barely psychoactive CBD, not THC? Do all of the accolades for trichomes and tight symmetry still count? Not in my book. I huffed and I puffed. I smoked and I toked, but I couldn't get high. The most important factor is the psychoactive component. Does it make you happy, reflective, creative, or any other state that you enjoy? To me, that's the point of it all, providing you with another perspective.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good article.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get into this like big, elaborate explanation, and it's really just
Perfect,
short
nice
and sweet.
simple.
Yeah.
Ed, we appreciate that article. It was great.
Get high.
Yes, get high and enjoy it. We actually smoked some blueberry muffin. Our friend Midwest Terps gave us some a while ago. I think it was.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and that strain was delicious. Medical MJ for anxiety and depression. This is a big one because there is articles that are saying if you smoke too much for too long or too high of THC, that it brings on anxiety and psychosis, anxiety and depression. And someone posted something on LinkedIn that was very interesting too. That I should have. I think I saved it, but maybe I'll read it on the next episode. I thought it was very interesting, talking about THC and back in the 60s and 70s, and even probably THC was not very prominent. It was 2, 3, 5%, 8% in the buds back then. But we didn't drown it out. There was CBD and there was other cannabinoids in there too, balancing it out. So people were high, but they weren't like zombies. And they weren't so just THC heavy. And I've talked about this on the show so many times that I want strains that have all the cannabinoids in there. I don't need a high 30% THC strain. I want the 15%, but I want 3 or 4% of CBD, and I want some CBG in there, and I want like the Seattle Chronic strain we've smoked. That is one of the best strains for overall body sensation I've ever smoked, because it had so many different cannabinoids in there. So back then research was finding that 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, there was higher prevalence of other cannabinoids in there. So you weren't getting because the CBD was balancing out, counteracting it, balancing it out along with CBG and some non-psychoactive. So you weren't so high. You were stoned, but you weren't like zombified. And I'm not saying people don't need high THC for medical purposes. But what we're doing to the plant and what we're doing to the consumer out there and people who use cannabis, we're falsifying this plant and what it really should be for. Lower dose is so much better THC wise. I mean, we're smoking distillate at 94% THC, and there's no other cannabinoids nothing else in there.
It's just THC.
You're zombified.
Yeah.
How much can you actually put? You're destroying your endocannabinoid system by taking in that much THC and
people just aren't
taking it in.
Getting the benefits. I mean, if you're using it medically, I think that you need the full spectrum. That's where you see most of the benefits.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you're just hitting vapes and eating distillate gummies all day long for your medical conditions, I don't think you're going to see the relief. Maybe you're having a bit of a placebo effect, because I don't feel it.
No. I don't. I think it just sometimes it's too much for my body, and I don't want that. I want a balance. I want other. And I've said this: the day someone can create. And I was reading an article that there is companies now. And we've read it on a couple of shows. There are companies that are going to start doing this, finding data out and finding what your body needs more, and building strains,
analyzing you for what you need.
And that's going to revolutionize the whole industry. I'm so looking forward to those days when we can do this again and not be so THC driven. And I understand it's money. It's all about money and greed and corporate THC, just high. We got to make our profits and margins, and that's what sells. You're wrong, because you're teaching the consumer wrong. You're teaching us, the people that use it, as socially, medically, recreationally, you're teaching us wrong. And thank God for shows like this and other shows across the podcast platforms and news and journalists and everybody out there trying to teach the right way and what we need to do to keep this plant going. Because it's still, I'm going to read an article in a little bit. I don't want to get into this, about we're still LSD, MDMA, ketamine, psilocybin is getting more publicity as helping for anxiety and depression than cannabis is right now. We're still in the Stone Age. So let me read this. And I'm sorry I got a little heated there for a second, everybody. So now here's some heart-opening news for the session. A new federally funded study from NIDA that teams up with Johns Hopkins in Melbourne tracked 33 adults in Maryland with real anxiety or depression over a 6-month period. After they started using medical cannabis, they measured after 1, 3, and 6 months, comparing back to baseline scores, and the results: significant decreases in self-reported anxiety and depression, dipping below clinically significant levels within just 3 months, and stayed solid through the 6th month. Most of these folks are using THC-dominant products with dosages around 10 to 15 milligrams oral of THC or 3+ puffs of vaporized cannabis, which delivered the strongest reductions in symptoms. Dig these stats, everyone. Anxiety and depression scores dropped below the clinical threshold by 3 months in. Gains were maintained at 6 months, but participants also noticed some side effects. Driving felt less stable, and they were feeling high. What it means for all of us out there: real mental health relief. This is the antidote. It's tracked data showing MJ eased anxiety and depression over time. Dosing matters. Effective ranges from 10 to 15 milligrams orally or 3+ hits vaping. Knowledge is power when you're dosing for wellness. Remember, that is a powerful line right there. Knowledge is power when dosing for wellness. Side effects are real. Feeling buzzed and impaired. Yep, those come with the benefits. More research is needed, though. It's observational, not controlled. Research stress that clinical trials are needed to confirm safety and effectiveness. So here's the big picture, everyone. Other studies support this vibe. Some found that medical MJ led to fewer anxiety medications and prescriptions, and CBD shows promise as an antidepressant, all with low side effects and side effect profiles. But still caution. Very Well Mind notes that higher dose of THC can worsen anxiety, so careful dosing and managing tolerance is key. And long-term effects aren't fully mapped yet. Takeaway for this sesh. If for someone you know uses medical cannabis for mental health, the study suggests it's legit. Just keep it THC focused, track your dose, be aware of the buzz, and know it takes a few months to see changes. So the real talk, MJ isn't a miracle cure, but it's another tool in the mental wellness toolkit. Just treat it with intention, not just ignition. Always loop your healthcare provider in, or do your research, big research. Okay. I always wondered about this, how animals in the wild interact with cannabis. We know it has a distinct smell to keep bugs away, or the keep plant-eating animals away and stuff like that. But some might like it, some might not. Some dig it, some don't, right? Mm-hmm. We know Yuki loves to eat the leaves. Mm-hmm. We just gave her a couple yesterday, and she our plant outside, and she absolutely ate 3 of them. She doesn't even think twice about it. It's just the fan leaves. She loves them. Absolutely loves them. She wasn't even a thought, right? I put it right back. Put another out. Put another out. She loves them. I take the stems off though, so I don't want her choking on the stem because she just swallows them right up. So, tell us about how animals in the wild interact with cannabis, Mrs. Weedman.
Yes, the first evidence of marijuana use dates back to at least the 3rd millennium BC in written history, and potentially as far back as the pre-pottery Neolithic B, 8,800 to 6,500 BCE, based on archaeological findings. That's a freaking long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
Isn't that bizarre that there were humans that long ago?
Yep.
Crazy.
So bizarre.
So crazy. It's really weird. I mean, we think 10 years is a long time. That's crazy. It has been used as medicine as far back as ancient man. The effects of wildlife are less often explored. There is little information about how animals in the wild interact with cannabis. Never really thought about it, right? Do they approach it with curiosity or intent? The answers are both surprising and worth paying attention to, especially as cannabis becomes mainstream. In states where outdoor cannabis cultivation is common, like California, Oregon, and Colorado, there have been growing reports of animals like deer, elk, and rabbits nibbling on marijuana plants. While most animals are likely attracted to the smell or texture of the leaves, not necessarily the high-inducing THC. Interactions still happen. In one publicized case from the UK, a flock of sheep was found wandering dazed near a roadside grow site, fueling speculation and headlines about stoned livestock. While that story may have been sensationalized, it reflects a real-world phenomenon. Animals occasionally eat cannabis, especially when it's accessible. THC, the compound in cannabis responsible for its psychoactive effects, impacts animals differently than humans. For example, dogs are extremely sensitive to THC, and they can suffer from severe symptoms like disorientation, tremors, or even seizures after ingesting cannabis products, while larger wildlife like elk or moose may tolerate small amounts better due to their size. Concentrated products like edibles or discarded trimmings can still be dangerous. Non-psychoactive hemp is another part of the cannabis family that animals interact with. Birds, squirrels, even livestock are known to enjoy hemp seeds, which are high in protein and healthy fats. As cannabis cultivation becomes more normalized, especially outdoors, the environmental footprint, including its effects on wildlife, deserve attention. Unregulated grow sites in particular often use harmful pesticides or traps that put animals at risk. While stories of curious wildlife sampling cannabis can be amusing, it's important to remember cannabis products, especially edibles, should never be given to animals intentionally. Pets and wild animals alike can suffer serious health effects from THC exposure.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's wild plants, poisonous, toxic wild plants all over, and humans and nature alike learn to avoid those things.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that an animal who eats it
poison
and
ivy,
feels
poison
sick.
oak, and poison sumac.
Yeah.
We stay away from those.
Yeah.
So we go out to the woods. That's the first thing we look for. I'm like, because we're both highly allergic to poison ivy. And is that poison ivy? I don't know. Look at your phone. Is that three leaves on the vine? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're crazy when it comes to, I mean, I understand, like, it could be poisonous for some animals, right?
Yeah.
Just like watching an animal show one time, and I watched, there was this in Africa, and I don't think it was elephants and monkeys, and it was a bunch of fruit trees, and the fruits were all falling and ripe, and animals were eating hundreds of them. And they were like, they got drunk, and they were falling over because
they were overripe.
It was fermented in their stomachs.
So they were wasted.
They were wasted, falling
Wasted
around
monkeys.
the stomach. Yeah. Stupid monkey.
Stupid monkey.
You want to light that joint up before we get started on political state
Sure.
and business news? Well, I'll start, and you can pass it.
All right.
All right, fam. Now we got our minds right with some medical cannabis truths. Let's shift gears and take a little cruise through the world of cannabis politics, state updates, and green business moves. Don't worry, we're keeping it fun, not filibuster. You know how we do it. Facts with flair, news with a nug, and no suit and tie nonsense. So let's roll into it. But first, let me take a hit of that joint.
There you go.
This Romscotti. Duhask me.
Well, you have to explain that. Nobody knows what you're talking
I
about.
just did. I talked about, Ramstein.
Right.
He's stoned.
Spaced out.
I just talked about it because you don't know the band. It's so
Right.
weird you don't know the band.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I could imagine that was played like during like industrial era.
Yeah, I heard it. I mean, they're a
like
big industrial
hardcore
band,
punk. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a big industrial. But this was 90s, I think it came out.
Yeah.
You know,
So
so.
like a nightclub song.
Yeah. When I worked in the club scene.
Cranking out babies and doing mom shit. And you were in bars.
I worked in the bars for a very long time. So, du hast me.
Du hast.
Romscotti. All right, let's get going. Illinois just kicked off a hemp industry powwow. Representative LaShawn Ford brought stakeholders together to hash out the glitches in the hemp regulation, especially around the Delta 8 and youth access issue. They're debating age limits 18 versus 21, veterans outs, and keeping hemp separate from marijuana rules, all while the feds debate farm bill revisions. Sounds like political weed games, but this is real talk for the future of hemp. Cali immigration breakdown. Okay, the raid breakdown. This is going to be a little long. Stick with me here. This is, oh my God, since this has been going on, since the cannabis farm raid at Glass House, there's been at least 50, 60 articles that I've saw, and I probably read about 10 out of the 50. I've read the captions on a lot of them, but it was all over the news, people posting it on social media like crazy, people's views on this. It's just out of fucking control. Out of control. And this is giving cannabis a very bad name right now, especially in the California market where it's already in trouble financially. And it's not a good look for us. It's not a good look for cannabis. I'm good right this minute. Thank you. And it's heartfelt too for the people that work there. It's heartfelt for the families that what happened because someone got killed. It's all just fucked up. And I've said this years ago, and I still say this today. You all have to remember, it's still federally illegal. They can come and shut this shit down anytime they want, as they just proved with a warrant to bust Glass House Farms in Carmelo and Carpinteria. They can come and shut this down. Federal law is higher than state law. It trumps it. Not talking about the president, okay? It trumps it. Never forget that. It's not federally legal. It's still a Schedule I so-called drug. Remember that. You've heard me say this, Mrs Weedman. They can we're on borrowed time until they federally legalize this. We're on fucking borrowed time, everybody, and we keep on fucking up with these little things here and there that makes the industry look bad. And there's the industry, to me, in my eyes, it's 95% amazing. There's just that 5% of fuck ups that keeps us falling back in the stigmatization of it all. Drives me crazy. So let's talk about this Cali immigration raid breakdown. So I took a bunch of articles and I tried to kind of like summarize them into one that I thought they were good. Probably took about 5 or 6 of that 10 that I read and probably combined them into like some of the topics. Okay, so this is different articles that I laid it out in a time kind of fashion. So this is the articles, not my opinion on this all. So let's go. All right, fam, this week's Cali's cannabis world got hit hard. Feds raided Glasshouse Farms in Camarillo and Carpinteria, and it shook the scene. Let's unpack it all in one smooth sesh. First off, over 360 people were arrested, making this one of the largest immigration enforcement moves since this new era. DHS says it was investigating at least 14 minors, citing potential child labor and trafficking, but Glasshouse Brands denies knowingly hiring anyone under 21 and under. Tragic turn. A 57-year-old worker fell 30 feet while hiding from agents and later died, the New York Post said. It sparked outrage. Tear gas, smoke grenades, even pepper bullets used on family members and protesters. Some U.S. citizens got detained too. Governor Newsom went off, calling Trump the real scum, because I guess Trump calls him new scum. New scum. Yeah, it's just so fucked up. So fucked up.
It's like worse than high school.
This is watching a movie.
It's
just brutal.
It's brutal.
Condemning agents for tear gassing kids crying during the raid. A federal judge temporarily halted the indiscrimination raids in 7 California counties over potential civil rights violations. DOJ is appealing. LA's mayor is moving to help affected families, offering legal support and financial aid. Meanwhile, labor groups and critics are blasting the aggressive tactics, warning mass deportations could cripple food and cannabis supply chains. The United Farm Workers say these raids terrorize communities and disrupt essential workers. The business and state angle. Glass House is a major cannabis and producer operation in California. They contend they were fully compliant with warrants and never knowingly employed minors. But reports show political donations from their founder, who was an ex-cop that got into cannabis and has one of the biggest cannabis grows in California. And from their founder to Newsom and the Dems, while another co-founder supports Trump, raising questions of political double talk. Why it matters for you all. Big compliance alarm on cannabis operators, especially around labor standards. State versus federal tensions. Legal cannabis, but federal immigration enforcement is still a wild card. Community impact. Workers, families, even citizens caught in the crossfire. Legal fallout. Court battles now shaping what's fair in future raids. So here's some takeaways. This ain't just politics. It's real lives and real smoke affected. Legal cannabis industry might be green, but federal law enforcement still casts shadows. Keep your operations tight, keep your labor clean, and your heart with the workers. It's state legal, not always federally safe. That's the Mr. Weedman takeaway on that one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Take a deep breath. Alabama. Roll Tide. Medical weed rollout is almost here. State courts greenlit the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission to move forward, opening the door to license approvals this summer. Producers are hyped.
Are they going to move up past suppositories?
Hold on.
Okay.
Producers are hyped, gearing up for facilities, but patient relief is still on hold.
Ugh.
Litigation delays means products like oils, gummies, and patches and suppositories won't hit shelves for months.
So they'll have dispensaries that don't sell anything?
Nothing. So
that's great for business owners.
Desk jockeys are hopeful, but patients are still waiting. Hang tight, Alabama. Soon you'll be lit
so backwards.
Legally. But no
How are those
flower.
businesses going to thrive?
Who? People will go buy oils, patches, gummies, and suppositories.
You just said they won't have them.
Not yet.
Right.
Once they still got to grow everything, make everything.
Right.
The stores aren't even opened yet. I'm saying another year.
Wow.
So, but this summer they're supposed to be getting stuff ready to make.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
And Mr. and Mrs. Weedman will let you know.
Yes.
Once we know, you will know. We've been talking about Alabama for a very long time. We love our Alabama folks down there. About 9 in 10 Americans support legal marijuana, 54% for both medical and recreational use, 33% for medical only, and 12% opposed, a trend that stayed steady for 6 years. Nearly half of adults have tried weed, with about 23% using it in the past year and 16% in the last month. And 52% say legal weed boosts local economies, while 42% believe it makes criminal justice fairer. Looks like Uncle Sam's catching up to the sesh squad. Most everyone's down for legal smoke, and the numbers just keep lighting it up. Here in Illinois, boy, I mean, for $460 million in tax revenue, $1.6 billion, would do 1.6 again, 1.7. I mean, the money rolls, you know, and those governments keep on raising taxes. They give me more, give me more, give me more. It's their cash cow now.
Right.
Nobody else is making money. The only people that are making money and they don't deserve it is the government on taxes. I mean, on cannabis from taxes. Nebraska's medical cannabis journey just leveled up. J.C. Todd, a 50-year-old Army vet and a CBD store owner, is running for governor in 2026. He's dodging 24 misdemeanor notary petition charges while pushing for medical weed access that 71% of Nebraskans voted for. Todd's pitching grassroots, transparency, and pro-cannabis platform against incumbent Governor Pillen. It's politics, pot, and purpose, Nebraska style. Let's see, the Cornhusker state is ready for cannabis crusade. A pot shop owner in the governor's race. Now that's a 420 twist, Mrs. Weedman. I hope he wins. I hope he smokes them, literally. You have my vote, Army vet. You have my vote, 100%, J.C. Todd. All you Nebraskans out there, Cornhuskers, vote for J.C. Todd, a 54-year-old Army vet fighting for your right to be able to use legal medical cannabis in Nebraska. I should be his campaign manager.
Yeah, you should.
That was pretty fucking good. Pennsylvania medical cannabis program skyrocketed after anxiety was added as a qualifying condition. In July of 2019, enrollment surged 11-fold, hitting nearly 1.6 million by 2023. Since then, 60% of patients cite anxiety versus 41% of chronic pain and 11% of PTSD. PA's anxiety wave hit fast, like a strain you didn't see coming, Ms. Weedman. Des Plaines, Illinois, is locking down its cannabis scene. This is great. I think this is great. Yeah. Implementing a brand new license system that caps dispensaries at 3 with $200 annual fees each. Mayor Goskowski says it's about preventing a pot shop on every corner, avoiding market cannibalization, and keeping things chill. Good. Not cash grabs. So only 3 shops.
So only 3 in the whole city.
The whole city of Des Plaines. It's like a VIP seating for weed exclusivity, but low key, Des Plaines is keeping it boutique, baby. I think
Seems
that's great.
Like 3 is
I even
still
think 3
too
might
many.
be too many for Des
Like
Plaines,
2,
but it also
right?
depends on where you put them. Like if you go out to Naperville,
yeah, it's huge.
There's 4 dispensaries now, but there was 3, and they were all within a very far part of one another. So, and Naperville's a big city,
Right.
so they all made a good profitability. I don't know the population of Des Plaines, unfortunately. I apologize out there. I'm from Illinois, and I should know it, but I still think it's a good idea because all you do, like this town.
I think the limit is a very good idea.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. So good for you, Des Plaines.
Yeah.
Maine feds just busted a massive multi-million-dollar illegal grow operation. Over 700 plants seized and 7 people charged, including smugglers allegedly forcing Chinese nationals into grow houses and laundering money through Maine and Massachusetts properties. They're facing a hefty prison time and fines. Talk about a full-grown house horror show. These guys went big, but karma got even bigger. The DEA's marijuana rescheduling process is still on pause. Administrative Law Judge John Mulroney had temporarily halted hearings on moving cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, and now DEA attorneys and rescheduling proponents report they're at an impasse. No briefing schedule has been set yet, and the case remains pending before Acting Administrator Robert Murphy. Looks like the green light is still on red. Guess we'll keep blazing our own trails while the feds figure it out. In a move that has cannabis advocates on edge, the GOP-controlled House Appropriation Committee unveiled a new spending bill aiming to block the Justice Department from rescheduling marijuana. The bill also preserves a long-standing rider protecting state medical cannabis programs from federal interference, though with new language authorizing enhanced penalties for sale near schools and parks. This development comes amid ongoing delays in the rescheduling process under the Trump administration. Now over to you, Mrs. Weedman, with political, state, and business news.
Here we go. I'm in the news circuit now.
You are. How you
All
liking
right.
it? It's been a few weeks now.
Yeah. I'm like the reader, the official reader, and you're more of like an elaborate on the subject.
That's fine.
So we just have different
We do
styles.
our thing.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Every newscaster has their different styles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is in the news with Mr. and Mrs. Weedman.
That's right.
We've been watching news. We watch
too much news.
But we watch regular nighttime news, the daily
Chicago news.
Right, the Chicago news. And you have two hosts, newscasters, and then you have the weather, then you have the sports, and then you have maybe somebody that's on the streets, right? But you always have the set two newscasters.
Yes, the anchors.
Yeah, and they both have their own personality. Why you like it. They're right?
Right.
Do it, Mrs. Weedman. Just fucking do it.
I've got political, state, and business news continued. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein just formed a 24-member high council to finally tackle unregulated THC loopholes, ranging from Delta-8 sales to youth access, misleading labels, and zero testing. Their mission? Draft a full cannabis regulatory framework with safety, age limits, expungements, and taxation by March of 2026. It's a big move from the Wild West hemp market to a grown-up legal system. That's pretty cool. It sounds like they're going to attempt to do it the right way, roll it out with some order. New York City's black market cannabis scene is still booming. Yep, despite a legal market surge to over $1 billion with 307 licensed shops statewide, illegal smoke shops are now in the low thousands. Authorities have padlocked over 700 illicit stores, issued $65 million in fines, but only collected pocket change of $200K. New York City's doing the sweep on legal shops, but they keep popping up like dandelions. It is a wild weed war out there. Ohio's issue to legalized recreational weed. Ohio's issue to legalized recreational weed in November of 2023 with 57% backing. But now some GOP legislators want to dial it back, slashing THC caps, cutting home grow, and yanking tax dollars from local towns. Two Republican representatives, Jamie Callender and Tex Fisher, are fighting that push, defending voter-approved access and hemp market freedom. Are Ohio Republicans stepping out of the caucus? Dang, it's like they're rolling one for the people. That's pretty sweet. Prohibitionists are pushing to reclassify cannabis as a Schedule II, not Schedule III, because it still needs a prescription and keeps federal controls tight. No recreational loopholes, strict quotas, and no banking relief under the 280E. By staying Schedule II, they maintain a firm grip on THC limits and medical gatekeeping. It's controlled access with the door still locked. They're all for medical weed, as long as the doctor writes the script and the feds hold the keys. I say skip rescheduling and just pass a federal legalization and create a legal framework for the states to build upon.
Deschedule.
Just forget all this rescheduling. Oof. Just get it off of there. Get it out. The big shakeup in the research world after supplying federally approved weed since 1968. The University of Mississippi's NIDA contract is now quietly halted. No new orders will be placed this year, even though their federal contract runs through 2028. That means future studies need new growers licensed by the DEA. Ole Miss is losing her weed crown after 57 years.
That sucks.
That's like licking the OG off the throne. Oh, kicking. That's like kicking the OG off the throne. Looks like research just got a remix.
Terrible.
That's crazy. So if you don't know, yes, since 1968, the University of Mississippi has had a marijuana research program. It's been on the down low
too. They also we saw one guy we saw an interview with a guy that's had his prescription from Ole Miss
the university
since like the early 90s.
Yep. So they grow there, they have a lab there, they distribute from there, and it is all to collect data for research, majority of which was not looking for ways that cannabis could help you. A lot of old information that needs to be challenged.
Yep.
But they're not doing it anymore. Maybe
I think they'll still have the grow. I just don't think they'll federally supply the government anymore, right? I hope.
I don't know.
I
We'll
hope.
see. We'll
hope
see.
they keep it.
July 11th marked a powerful moment. A former West Virginia cannabis prisoner, Ryan Besor, launched his brand, Redemption Cannabis, in the very town he served time for growing medical weed under Michigan law. He partnered with Trulieve and Altum.
Your guess is as good as
Yeah,
mine.
Altum. It's a V instead of a U or whatever.
Altvrn.
Alt.
ALTVRN.
I don't know. Well, anyway, he partnered with them to bring products to West Virginia and beyond. Plus 10% of revenue funds expungements and supports those still are incarcerated. From bars to buds, talk about turning your sentence into a sesh-worthy success story. This is a interesting one. A German spacecraft named Nix crashed in the Pacific after its parachute failed during re-entry, scattering a cosmic mix of what? 166 people's, like the ashes, dead people, ashes, cremation of 166 people, cannabis seeds, and other biotech payloads into the ocean. It orbited Earth twice before the splashdown. The mission was part memorial tribute, part citizen science. Bizarre. Martian Grow wanted to study weed in microgravity for Mars missions. Both the exploration company and Celestis called it a partial success, promising to learn and relaunch. A space capsule carrying ashes and weed? That's one high-stakes payload. Pennsylvania lawmakers, led by bipartisan duo Senator Dan Laughlin and Sharif Street, introduced SB 120 to legalize adult-use weed for those 21 and older, with limits of 30 grams of flower, 5 grams of concentrates, and 1,000 milligrams of THC edibles. A new cannabis regulation board would handle it all: safety, potency, licenses, and fighting the black market. Connecticut's their cannabis scene is hitting a regulation roadblock. 2 years in, adult use sales have stalled around $18.7 million monthly, while medical slipped to $6.5 million in May. Producers are frustrated by overregulation causing high compliance costs, surprise inspections, strict testing, limited outlets, and pricing rules, making it tough to compete with their black market. New Mexico's Supreme Court ruled the smell of marijuana still gives police legal grounds to search vehicles without a warrant. Bullshit. Even during decriminalization, because possession remained unlawful under state law at that time. That means if your car smells like kush, officers can pull you over, open your doors, and dig around without a court order.
Brutal.
Ugh. Terrible. So we always say, know your laws. Know your laws about possession, how much you can have, how much you can grow. You can grow if you're a medical patient. You can't grow recreationally. You can't grow outside unless in this state.
Some
You know,
states are
so you know your laws. Know what you can carry around. If you have a medical card, you can carry more. Know what it is. Know what your caregiver can have. Know what happens if you have, too much on you. Just be aware. Is it going to be a fine? Is it going to be jail?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? Just know, right?
Go to Normal's website. Yeah. They have it, every state listed with the laws, home grow laws.
NORML. And their Normal covers all of the United States.
Yep.
So it's a super ton of information on their site.
Big news out of the state of Washington. The Senate Appropriation Committee has approved a bill that would ban consumable hemp products containing any quantifiable amount of THC. But there's a twist. Bipartisan senators have agreed to delay the implementation of this ban for 1 year. This gives the hemp industry some breathing room to adjust and engage in decisions and discussions about future regulations. Looks like the hemp industry caught a break. 1 more year to roll with the punches before the feds throw a curveball. Big move in Congress. Representative Brian Mast of Florida, a wounded Army vet, introduced an amendment to the 2026 VA funding bill aiming to let VA doctors discuss medical cannabis with patients in states where it's legal. Mast, who lost both legs in Afghanistan, sees cannabis as a safer alternative to opioids. The amendment has bipartisan support, including Representative David Joyce of Ohio, highlighting the need for veterans to have all healing options available. California Unified Cannabis Enforcement Task Force just wrapped up the most massive operation yet, seizing $476 million worth of unlicensed cannabis products between April and June of 2025. That's over 185,000 pounds of illicit weed, 413,000 illegal plants, 77 firearms, 93 arrests, all in just 3 months. The largest bust, a 4,600 square mile sweep in the Central Valley that netted 22,000 pounds of processed cannabis and 105,700 plants. Holy smokes. That is a lot. Talk about a green tidal wave. The Michigan Cannabis Regulatory Agency breaks out sales by medical and adult use, with medical sales falling 66.1% from a year ago to 500,000, down 11.9%, and adult use sales decreasing 6.1% year over year to 272.1 million, down 4.2%. I'm still don't feel sorry for you, Michigan. 272 million. Just, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You're going to do $3.5 billion. I don't feel sorry. I don't understand how no one's... I kind of do, but it's still a lot of money. And your taxes are only like 10%, 12%, I think. And I know the governor wants to raise it to 36%. Mistake, but you'll destroy the industry.
Crazy.
But 272.1 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. Pennsylvania lawmakers are back at it, filing new bills to legalize recreational cannabis. The House passed House Bill 1200 on May 10th, and the Senate introduced Bill 700 on July 14th. The proposed legalization would allow adults 21 or over to possess up to 30 grams of cannabis to cultivate up to 6 plants. The bills also aim to establish a regulated market for cannabis sales and generate tax revenue for the state. Missouri marijuana sales reached 125 million in June, topping 750 million for the year. They'll do $1 billion. Good for you, Missouri. Heads up, Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is warning licenses about a scam email that looks like it's from them. The email invites recipients to action and auction of seized medical marijuana, something OMMA says never happened. The scammers used a fake Gmail account to make it seem like official. OMMA advises to not click on any links or provided personal info. If you receive such an email, report it directly to MMA. Looks like someone's trying to roll a scam. Don't let them light up your wallet. Wisconsin's political landscape is shifting as Republican gubernatorial candidate Bill Barron expresses openness to marijuana legalization. In a recent interview, Barron, a former Navy SEAL and CEO, stated he's open to considering different opportunities regarding medical and adult use cannabis. He specifically mentioned the potential of THC-infused beverages, suggesting the tax revenue from such products could be directed towards businesses' investment and corporate attraction. Currently, cannabis remains illegal in Wisconsin for both medical and recreational use. Barron's stance marks a notable departure from the state's traditional conservative approach to cannabis policy. Wisconsin's political scene is heating up. Could cannabis be the next big issue on the ballot? I've been to Madison. I've been all over Wisconsin. I smoked a lot of weed in Madison. I'll let you all know that right now. I think it's decriminalized in Madison too, isn't it? Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of people smoke a lot of weed in Madison.
Oh, yeah.
Wisconsin, just fucking medical. Start off with medical and watch maybe about 25% of the people that come to Illinois not go to Illinois anymore.
Yeah.
There's some people that don't want to get their med card, you know. Mm-hmm. And you have good soil. Let people grow outdoors. My God, the weed that'll come out of there. Oh. I'd move to Wisconsin if it goes legal.
Oh, yeah.
We love Madison. I'd move anywhere around there in a second. Don't get me wrong, Illinois. I love you. You always have a place in my heart.
Wisconsin is sweet.
Yes. That over. Oh my gosh. Whew. Those plains of just green. It's beautiful up there. Arizona has made almost $1 billion in tax revenue from legal marijuana sales from the start. Since 2018, Nevada's cannabis taxes have funneled nearly $716 million into K-12 education. That's about $1,500 per student. But with the $12.9 billion education budget, it's just 2% slice of the pie. Experts say while the funds are unequivocally dedicated to schools, they're not enough to close the $4,000 per pupil gap to the national average. So while weed's helping, it's not the magic fix. Looks like Nevada's cannabis cash is a nice bonus, but it's not quite the full ride for schools. Man, that's a lot of money. $12.9 billion education budget?
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that how fast the population is growing in Nevada? where they have to have that. That's a great. I'm not complaining.
I
about
don't
that
know
budget.
I don't have anything to compare it.
Right, me
to,
neither.
So I don't know.
But that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
You just, man. I don't know much about Nevada's education system. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that's a lot of money. Hopefully, your kids there are getting the proper education they deserve. With that kind of money being spent on your children, that's great. If it's all going to what they need to learn and grow, that's amazing. So we're going to take a little bit of a rest. Usually I give Mrs. Weedman a big, long political perspective kind of article. But because there was so much news, we decided to go a little lighthearted on this article and have some fun since it's summer.
Mm-hmm.
So you like popsicles, don't you, Mrs. Weedman?
Yep.
I like popsicles. How about making some pot popsicles?
I know.
And Mrs. Weedman has a nice, cool little recipe to share to teach you all how to make some pot popsicles.
Yes, I won't be talking about the recipe, but the recipe will be in the link on the episode. But, sorry, I just took a hit.
Du hast me.
A recipe for popsicles, pot popsicles, colorful cannabis cubism. If you are looking for a party in your mouth experience, look no further than these popsicles with cannabis-infused honey. The beautiful squares of fruit and juice are simple to make and completely adaptable. The idea that you can have these babies in the freezer ready at a moment's notice is a game changer. I recently had a group of terrific women over to plan our revolt. Because I could not help myself, I made a juice and fruit buffet and had everyone fill their own ice cubes at the start of the evening, also adding their preferred amount of infused honey. They froze in an hour, and I placed the frozen pile of cubes right in the center of the table. Everyone used tongs and thoroughly enjoyed finding and picking out their magic squares from the rest. The most unusual flavor was strawberries in a diluted honey-sweetened balsamic vinegar with a touch of crushed black pepper.
That ain't for me.
No. Well, like if you were having it like in a seltzer water, I suppose.
Still not for me.
No.
I would like it in a salad.
Yeah. But ice cube, you have ice cubes in your salad?
No, take the ice cubes out, but that mixture of
just have the liquid.
Diluted honey, sweet balsamic vinegar with a touch of crushed red pepper on it. With a strawberry salad sounds marvelous.
Wow. Mm-hmm. My favorite was a melon ball in a mango and orange juice mixture with infused honey and fresh mint. That sounds good.
That sounds good.
The leftover cubes were added to a pitcher of lavender lemonade. The beauty of the blocks in that each one can be customized with the size and shape being left up to you. Silicone molds are perfect. Ice cube trays are also a cinch if you want to use metal or glass. To keep the fruit from rising to the top, add the fruit and fill the container with just a little juice, then freeze. Once frozen, add more liquid, and the liquid will freeze again. This could also be an opportunity to change the juice. Alternatively, you can stuff the mold with fruit and wedge it in there so that it can't move, and then add enough liquid to fill in the remaining space. Some of their favorite flavor combinations included a cranberry juice and honeydew mix with infused honey. These all have the infused honey in them. A mango juice, cantaloupe, and vanilla extract. I don't know about that one. Pink lemonade with watermelon, mint, and blueberry. Coconut water with pineapple and raspberry. That sounds good. Mm-hmm. Lavender with raspberry and fresh lavender. I'm sorry, lemonade. What did I just even read?
You read it backwards.
Yeah, I don't.
You read fresh lavender with lemonade and with raspberries.
I'm baked. Lemonade, that is supposed to be with raspberries and fresh lavender. Don't know what I said a second ago. And an apple juice with carrot and pineapple. So get
I think
creative.
the orange juice with blackberries and orange rind sounds good too.
Yeah.
And guess what we have in the cabinet?
Honey that's infused.
That was given to us by a friend of ours.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, he gave us.
So I could make some little ice cubes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Just a little lighthearted, bring something because we were talking so seriously for so long. I just felt like when Mrs. Weedman was reading the article before when she was getting her episode ready, she's like, "What is this article about? This is not my normal perspective in the news kind of thing." I said, "Well, because we had so much going on and there was a lot. Let's bring some fun, lighthearted summerness to that political state and business news, and just end it with something fun.
Right.
A little summer cheer. So make yourself some honey-infused popsicles, everybody. Or if you have hash rosin, edible hash rosin that you've made, you can use that, be strong.
Yeah.
Like the taste.
Taste it.
But some people like that taste.
Yeah,
but you can add honey regardless if you don't have infused honey. But there's dispensaries that sell infused honey now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a summertime popsicle.
I could just make a cocktail too with that honey.
Oh, that'd be good. Putting it in a cocktail.
A mocktail.
Yes. Ooh, that'd be fun. Mrs.
Like
Weedman.
seltzer and juice and some fruit.
Mrs. Weedman with the ideas.
Look at me. Look at me with my ideas.
International news, everybody. In Central America, home-growing cannabis is mostly illegal, even where possession is decriminalized or medical use is allowed. Costa Rica, medical cannabis licensed, but no personal cultivation yet. Though small grows are lightly enforced. Belize decriminalized under 10 grams, but home grow still a criminal offense. Panama, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, full bans and strict enforcement. Central America might vibe with weed, but plant those seeds at your own risk. Trinidad and Tobago to raise legal age of marijuana to 25 instead of previous age set at 18. Australia's AHPRA is clamping down on telehealth doctors who wrote 10,000 cannabis scripts in 6 months, some issuing prescriptions every few minutes and limited patient checks and pushing high THC products causing psychosis. The watchdog warns against profits over patient safety and issued tough new guidelines requiring through assessments, mental health reviews, and exit plans. Shout out to my homies in Australia. We love you, Tez, Reefer Terps. British top cops like Sir Andy Marsh and Dorset's David Sidgwick now say the smell of cannabis is a sign of a crime and disorder. That makes them feel unsafe, and frontline officers should do something about it. So according to them, a whiff of weed equals public danger.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
So bizarre.
Man, that's like being afraid of your own barbecue smoke.
Yeah, right?
Thailand just hit the brakes on its weed boom. I talked about this in prior episodes. They fucked it up. That's all I'm going to say. Thailand, not the people, the government. You fucked it up. Reversing recreational legalization from June 2025 and limiting sales to medical only with the prescription. Over 11,000 dispensaries might need to re-register as clinics. Small farmers, though, this is the big one. Small farmers, especially ethnic growers, are freaking out over compliance costs and political backlash. The health minister blames youth safety and smuggling. But critics say it's punishing grassroots biz. Philippine lawmakers are reigniting the push for medical cannabis. Representative Luis Raymond Villafrete is optimistic about Senator Robin Padilla's refiled his version in the 20th Congress. The Access to Medical Cannabis Act targets patients with cancer, glaucoma, PTSD, MS, HIV/AIDS, and more. The House passed its bill last year. Now the Senate is back in play. Villafrete says he's got high hopes, this time for passage and President Marcos' signature. It looks like the Philippines is blazing a trail, pun fully intended. Let's see if this bill finally goes green. So here's what I'm going to say. I've been wanting to go to Thailand. I know you do too. We've also said we want to go to the Philippines. Our son was stationed there at one time. He said it was beautiful. There's 10,000 bazillion islands there. You won't ever get to see them all, but it'd be fun to try. Even I got to see 5, But here's what I'm getting at. Now that Thailand went back to med, you're going to see their tourist boom shift. Because if the Philippines goes medical, then recreational, oh boy.
Philippines are
They're going to boom.
Yeah.
So Thailand's government, you cost your people a boatload of money. You also cost your country a boatload of money on tourism. Unless you're going to let people get temporary med cards while they're in the country visiting, or be reciprocal to a med card from any country around the world they can use in your med stores while they're in your country, so they don't get in trouble.
You're still leaving out the recreational consumers. Yeah.
But everybody that goes over there for vacation will get a med card.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, Thailand government, you fucked up. And I said it from day one. Don't fuck it up. And you did. Philippines, if you were smart, you'd go straight from medical and recreational, do it both in, and watch your tourism boom. Take it from Mr. Weedman. He may know something, but he also knows nothing. I love retro gaming.
Yeah.
I do. I really like playing old video games that I used to play. And I've been playing video games since I was 3 years old. My father, Poppy, as we called him, had the first Odyssey game that was ever created in like 1971 in Pong. And it had 2 controllers that had round knobs, one on top and 2 on the sides. And you had like 12 different cartridges that weren't really cartridges. They were just like a black thing with some like gold plated lines. And you put it right in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Now, you had Pong, and you had 2-player Pong, and you had sometimes
We had that. There was just that
nozzles. Yeah, it was a base
like a
with
thing,
nozzles. Yeah, with
knobs.
knobs.
Yeah.
But also, my dad bought the gun. And there was a gun game for it. But here's the catch, everybody. You ready? This is how old I am. You had to tape the film to the screen with Scotch tape so you could play they had a haunted house gun game. That was I'll always remember that of all the other ones. It was so much fun. And
so you had to like tape the haunted house on
the screen, the gaming screen.
And then like the windows is where the Pong thing would come through.
Yes. Yeah. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
You had to tape your video game to the fucking screen in my day.
I mean, geez, we had to like get up to change the TV channel.
So yeah, that too. But
there were only like 5 channels.
3, I think, right? 4 when I was a kid. Gosh. So I mean, that's the thing. So, but I've had Odyssey, I had Intellivision, I had Nintendo, the original Nintendo, Sega Genesis. We were married when I got that one. And then PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox, the original Xbox. Mm-hmm. And then it went. I had the Panasonic 3DO too. In between Sega, after Sega Genesis, I had Panasonic 3DO. Then I had PlayStation 1. And Panasonic 3DO does not get the recognition. That fucking game.
That game was fun.
All those games were fun.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun.
Very
with that.
interactive.
Yes, very interactive. Yeah. So Panasonic 3DO, and then it went into PlayStation 1, 2, Xbox, the second generation Xbox, and then I got the new Nintendo Switch, and then I became a computer gamer. I've been gaming since I was 3 years old. For 50 years. I've been gaming.
You old fart.
I am an old fart.
Isn't it weird that we're 50?
50 fucking years I've been gaming. I'll be 53 this year.
Isn't that weird?
50 fucking years.
Like my brain doesn't feel 53. Ooh. Well, some days
you had a television too, but you only had one game. Oh, you had 2. You had Astro Smash and skiing.
What are you talking about?
That's what your sister told me. You had Astro.
We had Pitfall.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We had Burger Time.
You had Burger Time. Yes.
We had.
See, at least you remember your games.
Donkey Kong.
Okay.
We had Frogger.
Frogger was great.
Favorite.
Yes. And this is all retro gaming, everybody. That's why we're talking about this.
Crocodile Dundee. And what was the beer, the guy throwing beers across
yeah. And you'd have to go catch him and serve him. Yeah, that was.
Then there
fun.
was like that had like a series of games in it. There was like you could play poker on there. I think you could play
the poker for Intellivision was so much fun.
You could play rummy maybe.
Okay.
And could you play solitaire maybe?
Yeah, I didn't have that game though, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's retro gaming, and Intellivision was the best. And Intellivision was a huge box, and it had 2 paddles, and you used to have to put the film. There was numbers, and then you had to put the film for the game you were playing in the paddle. You don't remember that, do you?
The film?
There was like a game
for certain games.
Yeah, all the games had it
because you just had a little dial.
Yeah, you had a dial, and then 2 buttons on the side, and then you have a number key,
and you were connected. It had a cord.
Yeah,
so you could only be like up till
away.
You had to like be on top of your TV.
Oh yeah,
with somebody else next to you.
So that's retro gaming at its finest.
Yeah,
and retro gaming is making a comeback with cannabis consumers.
Yes,
it's on the rise.
Yeah,
tell us about it, Miss Weedman.
It's a throwback to simpler times, getting high and playing video games. Gen Z is known for valuing sustainability and avoiding overconsumption, making secondhand and vintage items appealing. But another generation is also looking backward fondly. Retro gaming while consuming cannabis is on the rise. A new millennial trend has emerged, pairing retro video games with a mellow high and a curated playlist of nostalgic music. It's part comfort, part dopamine boost, and all about chasing the joy of simpler times. I think it sounds fantastic. Whether it's a solo night with a Game Boy or a 4-player throwdown on an old Nintendo 64, millennials are rediscovering the magic of the past. With weed in hand and speakers turned up, games like GoldenEye 007, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2,
such a good game,
and Kirby's Dream Land, finding new love from today's gamers. The shift is easy to understand. With adult responsibilities piling up and daily stress at an all-time high, many millennials are embracing activities that feel safe, familiar, and dopamine-rich. Cannabis enhances that experience, making gameplay more immersive and even emotionally resonant. It's less about getting stoned and more about feeling grounded, says Rachel, 34, a Portland-based designer who hosts weekly retro gaming nights. You fire up a Super Smash Bros., share a joint, put on an old MGMT track, and suddenly you're 19 again, but without school finals. To match the mood, music is essential. In the article link, you'll find a cannabis-friendly playlist built for 3 stages of your night: the mellow warm-up, the mid-session nostalgia spike, and the chill come-down. More than just entertaining, these cannabis-powered gaming nights have become a form of self-care, an easy ritual that blends relaxation, nostalgia, and connection. As a generation known for anxiety and burnout, it's a reminder that joy can be simple: a few friends, an old counsel, and the right playlist. Oh, and of course, some weed.
There you go. I'm going to read the playlist. I think it was cool. So level 1 warm up, light up uplifting, electric feel by MGMT, float on by Modest Mouse, young folks by Peter Bjorn and John. Level 2, your peak high, nostalgia boosters, feel good by the Gorillas, Paper Planes, MIA, 1901 Phoenix. This isn't my list. This is the article's list, just so you know. Level 3, cool down, soft and spacey, Sunset Lover by Petite Biscuit, Night Owl by the Gail Madius, and then Weird Fishes, A.R. Peggy by Radiohead. So that's your 1, 2, and 3 up. So hey, listen everybody, if you are into gaming like I am and you play Marvel Rivals, Valorant, Team Fighting Tactics, or I'm playing a RPG, Divinity Sin 2 I'm trying to finish. But if anybody wants to hook up and play some Marvel Rivals with Mr. Weedman, reach out to Mrs. Weedman on 8 Decades at 8 Decades on Instagram, all spelled out. And she'll give you my Discord and just message me on Discord. Do you want a game? I probably game. I don't game as much as I used to, but probably at least 2 nights a week for sure, sometimes 3. So, and I usually start around like 9, 10 o'clock and go to about 1 in the morning, 12 at night, 1 in the morning when I have a good gaming session. So Miss Weedman knows and we'll smoke, take a break. But I am in the Marvel Rivals right now. It's been a great game. I got back into Valorant, stopped for about 3 months, played that game for like a long time, and then I'm a gamer. I told you, 50 years of gaming in my life, and now I went fully computer gaming. I'm full PC gamer now. My Switch collects dust, and I play it when I go on a plane. But I am a full PC gamer, so if y'all want to get your ass handed to you on some Marvel Rivals or play on a team, reach out to Mr. Weedman. We'll have some fun, smoke session. We'll get on Discord together and have some fun. So I'll send you my Discord. Man, Mr. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
I'd like to thank Ignius for throwing to the cause. Thank you for that great strain.
Pretty good.
I feel nice. It was a very nice, easy indica. Full, I was able to talk.
I feel clear.
Yeah, very nice. But my body's mellow, the way I like it. Very nicely well done, Ignius. Well
Good
done
stuff.
on the Romscotti. I appreciate you, brother, as always. Throwing to the cause. Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
That's the end of the show.
That's it.
You got anything else to say?
Everybody have a fantastic week and stay well. Be kind. It's easy.
Hey, everybody out there in the world, we love you. Thank you for listening. As always, as Paulie always says, smoke smart. Puff, puff, and away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome, long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.